Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's do a roll call.
Leonard.
Here.
Craig.
Here.
Eden.
Here.
Frank. Here. Miller. Ennis.
Here.
Beavers.
Here. All right, open for public comments. No, nobody then. Oh, I hear her saying no. All right, proposal of accepting these three items at once, or do you guys want to go through them individually?
So I wanted to re-explain the consent agenda. Because I want to make sure everybody knows what a consent agenda is. You are getting exactly the same thing as if we were doing these separately. You all the same information you're getting. You're getting the list of the bills, you're getting the council minutes, and you're getting the treasurer's report. You would get those if we did these all separately. You're getting the exact same thing. The only difference is you're approving them all at once. And I leave in there that if that first sentence there, that if there is a question about any one of those, you can right now say, I have a question about the treasurer's report, please pull that out. We'll pull that out. Approve the other two and talk about that one in the next discussion. So in no way are you getting less information or approving something that you didn't get a chance to look at because it's all right there in your packet. So I just want to make sure everybody knows how that works. Some municipalities will do all of their resolutions in a consent agenda. So you look at all the resolutions and you approve them all at once. It does save on time, and it saves doing that same repetitive thing over and over for something that in the 4 years I've been here, no one's ever not approved all three of these things. But they've also had questions. They've had, questions, but it's never not approved or approved with, things that need to change.
So if you get a motion to approve the consent agenda and a second, and then any questions.
Yep.
Talk
You can
about it.
still discuss if you have a question, but if you want something pulled out to discuss, like say something in the bill doesn't look right to you. You want to discuss that, pull that out, so that can be discussed just as that thing. And anytime you can pull something out of consent agenda. That's why I leave that sentence in there, so everyone knows they have that option. Just because there makes me two consent agendas.
Yeah, because you can pull something out and then the other two can still get approved. But then the other one's out of that, so then we can discuss it.
You can still discuss, when you motion the second motion, you can say, oh, what about this? And,
Maybe it's just
but if
a
it's gonna,
quickie that-
yeah, you can still do that. That's no problem at all. But if there's something that's wrong, or you need to make a correction, or you don't think it's right, then you definitely want to pull it out to have more discussion on it. I mean, the consent agenda is to move the meeting along. That's what they're for.
And when I put it in my musings, it was just out of a concern that we coast through our job instead of having it in our face, and we've got to be aware of this because it's there.
But everything's still there. Like everything that would be there individually is still there.
Yeah,
So you still get a copy of all of, I mean, if we were to do it separately, it would be somebody motions to approve the bills. Somebody
But
seconds.
then we'd have to look at those.
Right,
I would just,
Well, you're
Supposedly you
supposed
should be
to
looking
look
at
at them before, so those are all supposed to, I mean, those three things should be the things that you come here ready to vote on. Because those are three important things that you will vote on every time and have to approve for or not.
Right.
So though, I mean, if you don't look at anything, those three things should be the things you look at before you come to me.
And I would reiterate, you should look at the whole packet.
Yeah,
We've got it in there,
yeah.
So
That
You know what's
helps, but those three things are things that are approved at every single meeting and need to be looked at and need to be made sure that you're aware of what's on them and that they're
Mhm.
correct.
Short of somebody flailing their arms, I'll approve the consent agenda.
second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? approved. Item number 2, public hearing to review special assessment 219 West Grand River. Other formality thing.
Getting down at the end, we're getting down at the end.
Can't show up. There you go.
I know, I'm like, oh, my pen, that one. So somebody needs to motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Or, okay. Public hearing's open. Any public comments or statements?
No one is online.
Need a motion to close it?
Make a motion to close.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is closed, or the hearing is closed. Moving on to 3. Resolution 2504.
This is to actually get it on this special assessment roll. The resolution to finally,
Make them pay us.
yes,
How do they pay us? Like, does
Property tax.
it's on their taxes.
Added to the
You know, those-
tax bill.
that is being paid, or can I ask that, or no? What happens if
Yes,
it's
you
never?
can.
It's going into foreclosure.
Yes.
It'll be
So whoever buys it
That's what I was
potentially
wondering.
have to pay for that. You know.
back taxes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay, I need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept. Second.
Any discussion now?
So. Just real quick.
Yeah.
If somebody comes in and says they want to buy it, do we have the ability to waive back taxes, or is it set in stone?
normally if they call, they'll call here and say, are there any specials on listed on the thing, and then we'll list anything like, you know, this is land, so it's not, but like utility bills, whatever. Most of the time it's through realtor and they call us and let us know, and then they just pay it. If somebody comes in and actually wants to buy this before this gets on the tax roll, we could potentially be out there. But I mean, if you didn't want them to pay for it, I don't know what that would, I mean, if somebody said, hey, I'll buy it for this, we want to get, you want, you know, if it sits there forever and, you know, I guess.
When you
we
say
could-
it's in foreclosure,
Yeah,
there's money owed on it there's a loan.
Public bank.
that needs
Yeah.
to be- So it's not tax foreclosure, it's, okay.
it is. It is.
It is tax.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we.
I think the land contract was paid off with the fire money he received.
Yeah,
There was a land contract deal.
Yeah.
We haven't been paid anything on that property since the cleanup from the insurance company. The county has made us whole the previous 2 years, but this is not.
well, they.
County.
County
So-
paid what?
The taxes.
So they're holding the note, so to speak.
For the tax, yeah. So if this doesn't get on there before it goes to, you know, the auction, it may not get to this, like, we've gotten,
We'll be
this is the
already-
third one,
yeah.
yeah, this is the third
No,
one.
we would still be able to collect from whoever's buying it. It's just an invoice that we would have to issue to them.
Yeah, more than likely, like I said, somebody would call and say, what's the specials on it, and tell them what's on there, no extras.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All right, let's move to vote. All in favor of accepting?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution 2505.
For the border review, which we have to do it every year.
This is just normal procedure.
Yep.
It's like 505.
Every year. we'll have this.
It's allowing the meeting to happen, is that what's happening, the day for people to come in and
Yep.
dispute their.
I'll make
investment?
a motion to approve resolution 2505.
Support.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on. We're gonna levy up to 1 mil.
Yep.
Okay. so-
Andrew
Library-
wants to talk.
You got the floor.
Well, I don't know if you guys have questions. I'm Sandra Chavez, the library director, most of you know me. I just wanted to give you an update on some of the report that we have 3,002 people that have an active library card since last January. The city of Laingsburg, and since January the 1st of this month, 466 residents have used the library to check out books, use the computer, make copies, whatever they need to do. 82 teachers or student of choice that come to Laingsburg Student of Choice also have library cards, and they have used our library the last 3 months. Some business owners, we never turn, even if they don't live in our community, if they teach, have a business or our student of choice, we let them get cards. And that might change, so the board might change that and collect fees from people. We had 1,820 people use our Wi-Fi last year. We tracked that on our website. We had 1,460 people actually use computers to print out tax forms, social security, anything they needed to do. We borrowed 2,240 books from other libraries, and we loaned out 1,230 books to libraries from the UP and or anywhere, Detroit. We had 4,000 ebooks in circulations. Our ebooks have been donated by the Lions and have a lot of people use the ebooks. We had 59 total events, which are like book club, story time. Great turnout last night. We had 6 people attend book club. We have another one Thursday. We had 10 kids today, this morning at 9:30 for story time. And this is this is just Laingsburg, well, it's Scioto, Woodhull, Victor, and the city of Laingsburg that was selected. Do you have any questions for me?
You mentioned when you first started, 466, and that is Laingsburg proper,
Yes.
correct? Okay,
And they actually have active library cards. We don't consider a card that hasn't been used in a year not active. So these are people that actually use the library from the city of Laingsburg. Victor has 539 that have used them since January. Scioto 320. So it's used a lot. We're there and we get a lot of use.
and you go to each of the townships as well?
I do represent the library to the townships. I think it's important that you know what gets used at the library. I mean, the books that we actually check out.
I just got one question. I mean, so we're maxing our millage out, which I don't think a tenth of whatever of a mill is gonna make a big difference to max it out, but it's gotta go up. Are we gonna be sustainable, or are we running out of money, or why are we increasing, and what's our projections for the next few years?
I'm really pushing the board to consider the district library. I think that would make it equitable for everybody. I'm not pushing, I'm asking them to get them do it district, because then Scioto would pay the same amount of money, every resident would pay same and equal, and I really think to be sustainable, this library needs to have more money. And it should be fair. Something we're considering, we're talking about, and I think we'll work on that. I've reached out to Shiawassee District, Corona District, Community District, which is Morris Perry, the Lothrop, to see which would be the best one for our community. And I really think Shiawassee District would be the best one for us, because we would still be our own library with our own name. They would just take over a lot of the responsibility of bookkeeping, paying salaries, hiring, firing policies. But Laingsburg would not lose our identity. We would know what to purchase for our patrons, and we would let the buyers and also know what our people read.
And they would just, I think I kind of understand this, but they would millage Scioto, Woodhull, and Laingsburg,
And Victor.
and Victor.
Yes.
So they would get, everyone would have a millage. And then that would go for the district.
And we
it
would
be
share with
distributed.
the district,
Yep.
we'd have facility, we can share books and facilities.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they kind of run, run the back end of the library.
Oh,
And
that's.
It's not
separate.
just the village that's
That's
important.
separate from this, yes.
They use the same card catalog. They use the same kind of, they have the same kind of policies we have about being an open door library. They're very community minded. They would share their resources with Durant. Durant is a part of Community District Library. I feel that it would be the best that women's library.
A good match.
And you have to have,
Yes.
what is it, 2 of the
We have to take. two.
4 have to pass, is
Yes,
that right?
yes.
So the-
And then if the others choose not to participate, they have to find another library for their residents.
Right.
That's what we're aiming for, but it's still a long process to get it there. And we have to build it for it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's fine.
And if we don't get that,
Think
are
the same
we
thing.
good for how long with just this small increase?
And I've asked for an increase from everybody, Victor, Scioto, Woodhull, and the library, so that would help us a little bit. I'm not sure what we would have to do to change to get more money.
Do we know what this would reflect on each person for taxes? We raised them. $1.
Yeah.
It's a couple.
A couple.
Cause it's
It's
a total
not-
of $3,000, not even $3,000 for the year,
$2,100.
$2,100 for the year, so.
Yeah.
How many houses?
What was your total budget last year?
106.
That's not.
So even though it's only $2,000, that's like minus 2% increase in this budget. So that,
Yeah.
if you can get that, a couple people.
And if I
that's
can
huge.
get that from the other
Yeah.
townships,
Yeah.
that should help us.
Exactly.
Almost keep up with the inflation,
Almost.
Yeah. All right.
you know.
All right, so we'll need a motion and a second, then we can discuss.
I make a
further.
motion to approve the village from 0.9372 to 1.0 for the library.
I would second that.
Okay, open for discussion. No discussion, let's do a roll call.
Leonard,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Edith,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Yes.
Peters.
Next item. All right, engineering drawings for the Lions. So. You want to talk about it?
I just looked up, because I knew that he came in last month for the engineering drawings, so I pulled up what all the minutes of was approving it all and all that, so that everyone was aware of what the city had agreed to pay. The engineering drawings were not in the list of things that you guys agreed to pay, that they weren't part of it. We were doing all the the DPW was doing some things, and then they, obviously you weren't gonna charge them for the permits. So, I just wanted you guys to be informed. I didn't put this down as a motion to do or not, because I think if you guys were not up, happy you guys weren't here, and that's all was done, so that's why I gave you the information. The engineering, things that they had to do is something you have to do. I mean, you build anything on city property, you have to have engineering drawings or whatever you're building for. So,
In addition to pole barn.
Yes.
because it's on municipal or city property, you have to have.
Okay.
drawings. Yes.
An individual doesn't.
Right.
The city does.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
So I
so,
mean, commercial does too. I had to have engineering drawings for my addition.
Right.
Commercials are given.
Yeah.
They're the rich guys.
Yeah, so basically what happened was, I know, the city, we agreed to pay $750 in permits. On top of everything else that we did out there, that's the gray area where the trusses are not a permit, it's a drawing that has to be done.
How much were these engineers?
750, wasn't it?
$750
that you have paid.
that we paid.
In the 750 that we approved,
Was for
That-
permits.
permit.
but it wasn't ever used.
So
Yeah,
no, we never
yeah,
did
We
it.
never paid, they had to pull permits, but they were never.
Didn't
We
pay for
didn't
the
make
permit.
yeah,
The
they
only
didn't pay.
thing your inspector or county inspector, however you want to classify this gentleman, asked for was the engineered drawing since it was city property.
Right.
And technically on your, since we got a gray area here, number 6, it should not say Lions Club Barn. City owns that building. It's leased back to us for storage.
As well as DP or DDA does, and there's several. that
Nobody
use it.
has ever gotten anything leased back to them from that building. They just use it for storage, if that's what you're asking. We were the only ones in the original agreement when this was built back in the 90s. When we built it, back when it built. We said we would lease it back from the city for $1.
So what's on the table tonight is
$750.
$750.
From the 90s.
So this
No,
is
this
not a
is-
new,
no,
this is not a new building. Yeah.
This is the-
This is added on.
This is an addition to the
Oh.
building
They're
out
gonna
at
do.
Bates
They're
Park.
done.
They
Already
did.
done.
So it's there.
Yeah.
Done.
We're just asking, again, I guess, since you guys are saying permits. This is a drawing that was requested by the county or your inspector that was here. Everybody, when we met with Mr. Beavers, your city council person Gail and David, there was 7 or 8 items. And again, it only says all permits. So I guess if we're gonna go into that gray area and state since this isn't a permit, you really don't need to legally pay us back. That's what you're discussing.
Why, it's not, I don't think it's a matter of whether, we want to reimburse you back for it. It's just, we have to be really
I
clear
understand.
of what, it wasn't a permit. This is something that is required by any inspector. So, I mean, it's totally up to the council whether they want to reimburse you or not. It's just, from here on out, when we do stuff like this, we need to make sure that that's what we're covering is if we want to pay for those, then they need to vote for those, I guess, and to begin with. So this is just information for them because half of them weren't here when it all happened. So, and then I figured I'd let you guys decide whether you wanted to make a motion tonight to
So
approve it
where's the
or-
money coming from?
General fund.
Just so,
For-
are we?
to pay that,
good
reimburse
with
them.
General fund to spend $750?
I did, so.
It's there.
Yeah.
I'd like to just make the motion that we cut a check to the Lions Club for expenses incurred on the city's barn.
I'll amend the motion, say that it'll cover the drawings for $750.
Okay,
There shouldn't be any other things out there, is there?
It's all paid.
Yeah, it's all done right now.
This is the last
So
part.
This is
This
just
was just the agreement, again, we're semantics here, permits versus a drawing.
Yeah.
Just to get 750 back.
The city will still incur plumbing permits when the DPW finishes that section, because we will have to pay the plumbing inspector to come out and approve all that.
plumbing
There's
and
no plumbing.
electrical, nothing, nothing.
He just ran off the other electrical line, so there's no plumbing, there's no electrical that needs to be done.
Correct.
So we're not taking water, because that was one of the things that hadn't been completed yet.
All right, so we need a second on the floor.
I'll second the motion with the friendly amendment, right? Or
Okay.
you want to do it? I don't know.
All right, we got a first second for the motion of reimbursing the Lions $750 permit. Any more discussion?
We never paid for permits. Or
They
we
never
did,
paid for permit.
but
It was all in-house.
We paid the 750.
We haven't paid
for
it.
permits.
We
We
didn't
haven't
pay
paid
it, we
anything
just,
yet.
No, we haven't paid any.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to understand what the intention of like stating that the 750 in the original agreement was it.
that means that's about what it would have cost for them to pull a permit So that's what they were
Basically
approving.
agreed to waive it.
Yes,
And I think at that point, I had the $750. And I approached and said it's gonna cost $750 for this. So that's, I think, where the city council was, okay, we'll pay $750 towards permits. Technically now it's a drawing. not-
which, yeah, then it may have been
Okay,
where
okay.
they were misunderstanding what a permit and what a
I see.
engineering drawings
I
are.
see.
That's
It's
where I wanted to-
$750.
Yeah.
Seems like a really good deal for the city to get that far and
Yeah,
supporting the community, supporting DDA. Storing stuff in it for $750.
Well, unless we can get our 22,500 back. It's up to you guys, I guess.
well, that is truly the other side of the coin. The Lions Club pours thousands of dollars annually back into the city. And we should welcome it and be thankful for it.
Any more discussion? Let's do a roll call.
Leonard,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Deedick,
Yes.
Frank. Yes. Miller,
Yes.
Ennis,
Yes.
Beavers.
All right. Oh, closing Lions Club's asking to close down Grand River for springtime festival.
Make a motion to approve the closure of the roads.
Seconded.
Any discussion? Dave, you good?
Nothing's changed. It's all the same.
Aside from the, remember we talked
Right
about the
here.
wood hall,
Woodhull.
We're changing, yeah, shutting this down too.
the wood hall right here will be shut down.
Don't
Yeah.
put me out of business.
I know what happened, I was sitting there.
Destroying the
That one did a lot done. Pancake breakfast.
Everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, what? While we discussed that, I don't know. Are we is the thing to shut that whole road down?
Yeah, just this, not this.
Right, they just want to
Wood
put the
hall.
market over here now.
So
Correct.
like,
Our only concern was that completely locks off Tim's driveway to the highway.
oh, yeah.
I'll probably belly up that weekend.
As long as you don't have.
Don't come in the back way. Go the wrong way on
If-
the street.
We only carry stuff that people need. We don't have anything that anybody wants. So they'll figure out how to get there.
Okay, as long as you're good with it, I'm fine.
Give Jim the weekend off.
All right, all in favor, actually, any more discussion? Be all
Good
in
with this,
favor?
Dan?
What?
You're good with this?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Like.
All right, getting Kevin on the board
We'll just make.
of the planning commission. He was at the last meeting, very informative guy, did it in the past at other places in Ohio. He thinks we do things weird.
We still need members, so.
So we need a motion to accept him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do so.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So someone that does not live in the city can be on planning?
Just two people.
Yeah.
On the board.
Percentage of them, can we?
Where is 6235 Round Lake Road?
That way.
Gee, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, what, where
We
is,
can creep on his address.
We don't. do we need
where
to
is that,
speak to house?
stated at? Cause I looked in the,
It's in the bylaw.
I looked in there and I didn't see that.
The planning commission,
Yeah, bylaw.
yeah, so okay, two people, because we already have one. Like. Is already, the other person that lives outside of city.
Do they have to have a Laingsburg address?
I don't think so, don't state that,
Okay,
but both of them do, but. I mean, I don't know why anybody would if they didn't. But we are desperate for. And we're now down to only resident, so.
Any more discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That is approved, moving on. Social district, this is Kim's favorite.
Spent a lot of time on this, so.
Looks like.
So this was presented from the DDA. Because the DDA for Summerfest, which is pancake breakfast, is going to do a beer tent with live music. So, they're looking at Friday and Saturday, with the beer tent. We were originally gonna have it in the park, but the dynamics and the tent and just kind of being off the path, they decided they wanted to do it downtown. So then they suggested that we do a social district. I was shocked when I went on to find out who had a social district. It's everyone. Like they all did it back in 2020. Towns I didn't even know had social districts have social districts. So
Is this not a social district for the day? This is.
no, this would be for the year because you apply for it. You don't apply for it for each event. It's kind of,
For a year.
yeah.
We don't get
So-
to advertise it much.
No, yeah, so this is what I'm,
This is for drinking and walking, right?
yeah. So the map that you have the outside district, which would include all the businesses that are in that red area. The white part is where that's called the common area. That is where you can drink and walk.
And the red,
The red is the district,
Which,
so that would include the building.
I saw the map earlier, but which link is the map?
Third one.
Third.
So, and then that purple area, that is where we would have to have, that would be like special events. So that would be considered part of the common area when we have a special event and have a special license.
That's
for
where the
that.
greenery.
That's
Yeah.
behind Peter Ford.
Sorry,
So-
I was distracted pulling up the map. What is the red area?
The red area is the social district. So
But-
that includes all the buildings. But the white is where you can actually walk with your drink,
But Dan just said you can't in the street. And it's.
not in the street, on the sidewalks. Unless we close.
Sidewalk.
So if we close down the street, then we can make that the common area.
It just seems like the white is highlighting only the streets.
The white is sidewalk.
So just to understand this, so during the Lions Club Festival, people can be in the streets will be blocked. They can walk all through the white area and have a beverage.
Yes, if we
And that's all
advertise it.
new, correct?
We mean if we advertise it. So
Well,
if we don't
this
advertise it.
is what I, like. But how I don't know that all these places are social districts is they're not advertising that, oh, it's social district, walk around with your drinks at every time you can. You just like, Howell, for instance, they have special events and that's when they talk about their social district. People don't normally go around walking on a normal,
well, it's a
Day.
crime,
yeah, well, I mean, it's not really, if we pass this, it's
Right.
not.
right?
But it's not, we don't have as many businesses as most places do either. But it's not like we're gonna promote it for like, we're not gonna be out there going, hey, don't forget, you can walk around with your drink
We just don't wanna-
every day.
Every daily thing.
It's a glass of wine when we're shopping at Leonard's Hardware
Yes.
or Nuts and Bolts.
Well, they can't go inside
Yeah, they can in his,
In
because
his,
he
'cause he
doesn't
does
have a
not sell.
food license, a food or,
unless he says no.
yes, unless he doesn't wanna be a part of it.
Put brass.
Is this certain times of the day?
I have it down in there as from 11 or noon to 11 PM. Only because that doesn't restrict us for events when we do, because otherwise you have to go in there and put all these times and all these
You
dates
can't
and
do it
all
during
these.
pancake breakfast.
Unless you want a beer with your pancakes.
Which, not gonna happen unless we go, hey, go down the bar and get a drink.
Mimosa, yeah. mimosas and
Get a
pancakes.
mimosa, Bloody Mary.
Those tables would be outside.
Yeah, if you keep the pancake breakfast where it is, then no, they couldn't, because they couldn't leave.
There's a special container though,
Yes.
so unless. the
Yes, that's another thing that's a
establishment
deterrent. If
Not
somebody
open.
just wants to walk around, they're gonna have to pay for that cup. To do that,
And you're getting that cup from,
the bars,
The place that serve it.
the 3 bars that.
So you can't just bring a bottle of beer from
Yeah.
your house downtown.
All right,
yeah.
Drink it.
No, you have to have, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you have to have the cup that we've decided and designed in your hand. and you have to pay for that cup.
But we could. On any given day, go down and pay for that cup.
Only can use once. No, use
Right,
your per day.
And stroll about.
Yes.
There's-
So a perfect example of where I think it would be really, really
Like what?
cool kind of to use is Wednesday night when Mike has his music out on the patio. So that the patio is always packed. So Rosemary on the other side have tables. So you could get a drink from Mike's and walk across the street and sit there and listen to the music.
And who,
But you can't cross the street with it.
Well, you can, yes.
and who determines the
Drop it and
price
go
of the
catch
cup?
it.
The DDA probably will, because this is in with the DDA, the city and the DDA would be working together. with.
And then who
Social.
gets the proceeds from that cup?
That's probably gonna go back to pay for the cup. Is what I'm thinking, but if there is extra, it would. I'll have to decide
Is
that.
DDA buying the cups?
I think so for this,
For
because
the
I
event,
think
yeah.
the first event will be where we'll promote it, will be, the baking breakfast.
What would be advertising? So I got a lot of questions.
Well,
Just a marketing opportunity.
some
for
people
local
like, they
businesses?
print cups that, well, it'll say DDA on it, actually.
Just DDA.
It'll be say social district and then city link or DDA. And then that other side, it can say what bar it's from. So you can't walk in one bar, buy a drink. And then walk out and go into another bar with that drink. You have to stay in the common area. You can drink it up and then go in that bar, but you can't do that. You can't do it in a restaurant either. So like Tammy's Bakery, you couldn't walk in and get a drink. But anything that doesn't have a food or a drink license, you can go in and out of their stores.
And will they refill that cup? Or then you have
You
to
have
buy
to go
another
back
cup
down and get it refilled.
from the same establishment you started with?
Unless it's gone. If it's gone, then you can
It's
go into
gone,
the other
throw away the
one.
cup. It's
Yeah,
a
you-
one-time use.
It's a 1 day, so you could
Oh.
technically go into another bar and say, hey, fill me back up. But you can't walk in with the alcohol.
It's not free. It's not a free refill, like pop.
So what does Dan think of this?
It's fine, I guess the only problem's gonna be is springtime festival.
That's why I said,
That might get a little sporty, but
if we, that's why I'm like, if we don't talk about it, and nobody's gonna know, because that's gonna be our first event, I think, if it gets through. Nobody's gonna know. No one will know.
Except for everyone watching.
Except for, yeah, well, you know how that is.
So you could have people drinking while at the carnival,
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
but it's
Unless
still
we-
illegal to be like
streets will be closed. so they can
Intoxicated.
walk.
intoxicated in
They cannot
public.
be
Right,
intoxicated.
right. Yeah, they're still all the same laws are,
Right.
yeah.
So-
And they can't, they have to have that cup is another thing, I mean, you have to have the cup. You can't just openly drink whatever you're drinking at the bottom.
And part of the law too was if that cup, say from Twilligers, gets in the hands of a minor, Twilligers could then be cited for a liquor law violation.
Oh, wow. It seems like a huge liability on
That
that.
is a big liability.
Gary had a question.
I'm gonna reach out to our legal people for springtime festival. Because we technically aren't insured when liquor is involved.
Mhm.
So I will definitely raise that concern within our district.
I don't
Yeah,
think
that-
that it would fall on you,
Right,
even
I-
though you're sponsoring the carnival,
It'd be the
it's
city.
still a city sponsored.
And the bars also have to carry liability insurance for that.
It wouldn't hurt to ask them just to make sure.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, but let them know it's
I'm sorry, yes, but
let them know too that it's a social district, so they may already
Yeah.
be aware of. Because I'm sure that's probably come up in other areas that have
As you found, there's
festivals.
lots of them out there.
I mean, I can't believe how many people have social districts. I was like, I don't remember this next time I go there.
So are the bars, the taverns wanting this?
Yeah.
They feel it's gonna bring them more
Yeah,
business
yeah.
or more events or?
Well, I mean, that's the goal, and the GDA is looking at doing more fundraisers like the beer tent. Things to do with the community downtown. So, with this event, it being a DDA event, this helps the business. So if they were just gonna do the beer tent, then the businesses are gonna get screwed that weekend, basically. So this is kind of incorporates the business.
I just had another thought too, I guess, kind of on the concern of like the carnival, if it's a not, if you're not permitted to have a drink in the street, the carnival's in the street.
Streets are blocked.
If
Once
the
the
street
streets are
is-
blocked off, then they're allowed to have it.
Yeah, if the street is closed down, then you can have it.
Then you can have it. Okay, so people would be walking in and out of them. I was trying to like.
Like concert in the park, they could actually get their alcohol and then bring their alcohol to listen to the band or
But-
whatever.
The park is excluded from.
Yeah, it is.
from the map.
I don't have it in there.
So
I don't
you-
have, no.
But I thought about that. Could we extend it? Cause like that.
You
seems-
could.
That would be.
I thought I was, that's
I
right, I
don't
want
think-
to do that, but I know.
I probably would not want that. I wouldn't want any chance of liquor or alcohol being in the park, just be first.
Sure.
Because
Something to think about.
There's not supposed to be alcohol in the parks anyways.
No,
Well, you can have, I mean, if we were doing a special license or we were
Right,
doing do
right.
the beer tent and do all that, but yeah, I mean, I just left it out because I thought,
Harry,
yeah. I don't know.
I guess at Lions Club, I'm very concerned with inebriated people. Yes, we can't stop them from riding the rides. But now this, if they know of this, it's just more encouragement. And we all know that once we get liquor in our systems, everything goes out the window. And then again, it goes back to insurance and liability.
I mean, we can, double check on that and then I just have to write it as that we can exclude it from social.
and we could just tell the bars, don't sell these cups.
Yeah. that'd
Yeah,
be
they
easy
just wouldn't
exclusion.
sell their cups that weekend.
I'm just playing the devil's advocate for the Lions
Mhm.
Club.
I appreciate that.
The reason why I worked on it so hard this week is because we have to get it all in, because we have to apply for this through the liquor control, and then the bars have to get a license to do this. So to get it all done and all of us be licensed and ready to go, I kind of had to
Ready to
By
go.
July.
And,
by July, yeah.
and do we have a cost we're incurring to get the license for?
No, not us, but each bar has to pay for their license.
Did you say earlier this is a yearly thing?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it's a yearly or if it's just set in place. I think it's just like set in place until we amend it to change it or do whatever.
If we were to cancel it, we would just have to have a public meeting, one public meeting, and then it could be canceled.
Harry,
The date, I'm glad you had, because if it's for a year, you start in July 1 or June 1, then it's still gonna go through next year's.
What I would do is I would
That's-
write it in there as it's gonna go from January to May and then skip that weekend and then June to December. That's how I'd have to write it in our resolution, so that it would just immediately, take that out. Or I don't know, I may be able to find somebody who's done something like that and write it a different way, or just say, can we skip a weekend and say there is no social district whenever we feel like it? To me, that sounds like an amendment we'd have to do, but so write it to begin with. So,
I'll follow up with our,
And would you need to skip the whole month in case they change the weekend of festival?
it could be, well, we would amend it.
Okay.
That's what we do. We just amend it for.
Well, they only changed the dates of the festival, and that's the rain.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think the easiest solution is not to amend it, it's just to talk to the bar owners and have them not issue the classes.
Yeah, that's where I'm wondering if we can just say, no, we're not gonna do it this weekend,
I mean,
if that's something we can do.
I think it's a partnership with, I mean, that festival with those businesses. You both want to be successful. They don't want a bunch of it. If you have a bunch of inebriated people on the rides, you're not gonna have.
Anyways.
Well,
yeah, couples encouraging it,
Yes.
is all I'm saying,
yeah,
Our police have enough to do.
Yeah.
That weekend.
but you can even limit the time too, because it does say in here.
Yeah, I put
those-
that because I'm like, I don't,
Those cups are one-time use.
yes,
What-
one day,
Well,
one day, yeah.
it says one time.
But it's like, basically, if you bought one that day, that's the one you're gonna use. Mostly people, hopefully, people aren't gonna,
How do they
come
know
down.
that?
put a date on it.
Yeah.
More special then.
That's what I'm saying, like, what I've gotten from other communities is nobody's having any problems with it. Nobody's having like, parties in the streets,
It's like
and-
anything, you can what if it to death.
Right, I mean, and it really seems to have been working for everyone. I mean, it's been very low key. It's, mainly used for, like Howell, their perfect thing is they have like this big shopping thing. So they get all those small businesses to go in and then they have their social districts, so people can go into all these stores and it brings people downtown to shop. So they promote it.
No,
So,
I support it and I understand the concerns of that, but if people are just going there to get inebriated and ride rides, they're gonna do it anyway. They're just gonna chug their beer before they leave the bar and then go ride rides. I think this gets a better opportunity for families to get out, if their parents want to walk the kids up and have a drink, I mean, whatever, it's social, it's not.
yeah, and that's
it's
what
not a
they're
drink
trying
fest.
to get people.
It's downtown Lansing, it
Yep.
works.
Yeah.
I don't see it as a big issue. I think it would really like promote the business. You can just do a little walking thing. And like I say, as long as everyone's responsible. I think it's a good thing. So I think it would really promote downtown.
And that's why the law was changed,
Did you
was
make
for
that
social, for people to be more
So
social.
motion, I'll make a motion. I'll motion
Second
it.
it.
We got a motion and a support. Any further discussion?
What is the SE square, the purple?
That's
Special
special
event.
event, so we have to have a license to have like like for this, it's a beer tent. So we would have to
Where
have,
the housing might go up someday?
yes.
Okay.
First, we'd have to amend that.
What's that?
That won't be for a couple of years. Yeah. Okay, well, we can approach that.
So motion with support. So not I'm doing your job, but I'm just, I just have a question. So after a year, if we said we'd like to adjust this, it's not really a big deal to adjust the boundaries.
Yeah, we would amend it. We would
So just a
amend
quick
our
amendment, so-
resolution and, yeah.
To include EEC, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, you're not.
Parent teacher conferences are tough, right?
No drugs or alcohol.
Totally,
There's amendments.
100% kidding.
And then for the inebriation, it's illegal for a bar to sell to a visually intoxicated person. And that's a huge fine.
It's true.
So that's another thing that would help with that too, but I have concerns, but we'll see how it goes. So we got a motion of support. Let's do a roll call.
Leonard,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Dedek,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Ennis,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
So that will be effective this year then.
Yes, hopefully we get all the license
But
back
in
in.
July.
It'll take time.
Yeah, we're,
What was the goal of the July and what for the
Summerfest.
for the summer fest?
Yeah.
Saturday.
Floating holiday approval. July 3rd, it's a Thursday.
so we didn't take the February 14th day off because it's the last day to pay taxes, so first.
February
So-
14th 's a holiday.
Valentine's Day?
It's a floating holiday and it landed on February
Like-
14th. It's what,
Hallmark
President's Day or
holiday.
Lincoln's birthday or
President's Day is on
President's
Monday.
Day.
I just don't want to have a rehappening of what happened in the past, not like I would do what did get done either way, so.
We wouldn't be here right now.
So, so I think. You guys.
You have Friday off the 4th.
Yeah.
But you're asking for the 3rd. I'm making a motion to approve that.
Support.
Any discussion? There's nobody here in town usually, so it's pretty dead in the office anyways, and they will usually forward the phones to one of theirs in case somebody calls.
Yep.
So,
And it will be advertised at their.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we posted. All in favor, aye?
I-
Any opposed? No, that moves on. Grant award for the master plan.
We got the grants. So that means I don't have to do all that stuff.
That's 35,000, right?
Yep, so Spicer is going to help us do the whole thing. So through the next few months and probably good 11 to 12 months it'll take us to do this. Everyone will be involved.
Every 5 years? Master plan?
Yes,
Yep, so they gotta revamp the master plan every 5 years.
The
That's
planning commission gets most of the stuff, but will be brought to you to approve, so.
So that's what the $35,000 grant is okay.
Yeah.
And
So we don't have to take that out of our pocket, because it does have to be done for RRC and.
so you
Main
have to
Street.
get a Spicer or a C2.
Well, we wouldn't had to, but it would probably take me 2 years to do it by myself. Cause it's a lot of work. It's gonna take probably 11 months to get it done for them, so.
But doesn't planning commission
Hmm,
put a lot into it.
yeah, they do, but I would have to like get all of that stuff around and ready and everything that's supposed to be in it and bring it to them. To you. And
You get a grant,
rewrite
a
the.
grant to do this.
Yeah,
Reviewing some municipalities who look like they got grant money, their master plans compared to ours are night and day.
Yeah.
So having
Yeah,
a
it's
professional involved, I
huge.
think would be really nice.
And why
It
say
is
no to
huge.
it? Why say no to it?
Free money.
right, yes.
Yeah. Yes, basically.
Yes. Like it's, it was kind of a first come, first serve with this grant, so we got in early and.
So, but they're calling it a housing. Am I confusing?
No, that's just what they call it,
Housing readiness incentive
Yep.
grant?
because. The master plan is kind of telling the people that want to come here and put money here or develop here. That we have everything written out for you,
Now, what are
what our goals are.
The
what-
housing is ready.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're-
we're gonna make it look even prettier.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
Social district.
Any other questions on the grant? All right, moving on to 12, scheduled town meeting for questions and answers.
What is that for?
So one of our board members had suggested having an open dialogue for questions and answers of any questions that maybe the public has or the council. So.
I was guilty of that.
So I put in his
I've
sheet.
got a whole page of stuff that, I just kind of wanted to have a session where we talk instead of, we need a motion to this, motion to this, motion to this.
So there'll be no
To
motion.
give us newcomers a little more context about what has gone on, what's coming up that has already been decided, and just more depth on how stuff works. You three have been here. But us four have not. And that's kind of why I asked.
No
And
one's
I
gonna
had
get
a whole
real-
page of
Huh?
stuff to,
No one's gonna get a real one, right? There's been
No.
a massive change over the last 2 years.
We're in our second term.
Yeah,
Including the staff, yeah.
yeah, so.
Now,
Well,
town hall, were you anticipating having the public come in too? though?
You have to make, you have to.
yeah, it's gotta be public,
Okay, I just wondering about that.
because of FOIA, it's public.
So it's like a
Um,
special council meeting.
Mhm.
It would be
Open
considered a
conversation.
town hall meeting because it's not gonna be put in as like, I mean, we're gonna open the meeting and close the meeting, but it's not gonna be, we have a business going on.
No emotion. for you, this
The
is
only thing that I
just important.
would suggest, and that's why I put his questions in there, is if we're gonna discuss stuff. For us to be ready to answer, we need the questions beforehand, like, so we can be ready for it, because we don't know everything right up the cup, so. And if we put it out to the public, that's what I would ask from the public too, if somebody wanted to come in, we need to give us the questions before, just so we're clear.
Have we done one in the past or how long?
I have not been involved in one.
Do other communities do this?
Lots of big communities have town hall meetings. Yeah, but, I mean, they're kind of whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
They're, sometimes they're
Mine was
informative about
just-
one thing.
A page of my,
Do you have
Yes.
specific questions that you would like addressed?
yeah, which. And. I guess instead of going and getting my question answered. Maybe you had the same question. And or maybe it would enlighten you. Gee, I never thought of that, and. I thought it would be beneficial for everybody
Sure.
instead of just one person. Perhaps. And. Is there a huge loss if it doesn't pan out well for anybody? Not really. Time.
Your questions answered.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think there's a whole lot of risk and possibly a lot of reward. Perhaps.
So it's on here to, if everyone approves to have it, to set a date.
I gotta get that formal. about it.
You gotta advertise. You have to show up.
How about July 3rd?
She throws the gavel at you.
Then you're gonna have to come to it, Kim.
It's very close. You might want to watch it. Well, I don't have to come, okay?
I would just keep in mind if we do a, well, town hall with people coming in, you might get some pretty hard questions on your political views. So just keep that in mind. I mean, we're not a politically elected board,
Mhm.
but you may get people that ask. Just watching what's going around in the country right now. Just want to let you guys know it may come, and you could easily just say, we're not here to answer that question.
Well, and I also was thinking.
Just go to
because
Facebook, you'll figure it out.
the budget's coming up to approve that,
Right.
and I thought that would give us another crack at that too. We've got lots of paper and we could spend some time in the meantime and then those questions
Well, and I
can
think it
come
could
back to.
be, open up the community that maybe they want to get involved.
Yeah.
Or not close doors, or,
I mean, that's the thing that I do like is it may bring people in, they actually may get more involved and ask questions and want to be part of what we're building, because community's advanced a lot in the last 10 or 15 years. There's a lot that was
Shoot in the park.
doing. I was saying the fire station would probably be the best place, but
Put those sunshades up first.
there you go. Drop 50 grand a minute.
so do you need a motion for that, or you just need to schedule?
Yeah, we need to, schedule a date.
Okay.
We do also, don't forget, you're gonna have a, budget meeting, which is like 5 minutes, that, but
Yeah.
Maybe we
I mean-
should do that at the same time then.
we could possibly could do that. And
Combine
the
the two.
7th and 21st were the days that we're looking at in May for the budget.
Wednesday.
But that's to approve the budget as written.
Yes.
That's
So-
the, no, that's the public hearing. So public hearing comes in and then we adopt it after.
Yeah, because you can't approve it and adopt it on the same
Okay,
meeting. So you have to have that budget meeting to approve it
okay.
before you can
And
adopt
then
it.
then you really approve it.
And that's done in
later.
the council meeting. The other one has to be separate. So you could potentially have
So we
it,
could kill
Same
two
thing.
stones with one bird.
but that would have to be a meeting and then, so.
And,
Town hall.
and
Town
that,
hall.
and that date has not been determined yet.
No, we had picked 2 dates that would work, because she's got girls that are in soccer. And so the 7th and the 21st
Of
are May.
May.
Do you want like interaction right now on?
Well,
dates,
if we
or
could
do you
also,
like to-
keep those 2 dates, come back and vote on it next month. That's plenty of time to.
May 7th and 21st is what you're saying?
21st, yeah, it's both Wednesday.
14th,
21st.
So what is 7th and 21st?
7th and 20th. So that's springtime festival.
Just
Of
before,
May.
just before.
Yeah,
That's what
Wednesday
20,
before.
that's like the 23rd through the 26th.
Well, they come in the 20, they'll come in.
The 7th is the day after the election.
Just, we have an LSW meeting on the 21st. For what it's worth.
And I'll be in Denver, but not for that.
The 21st, or maybe the 7th. But we can vote on that next month.
That's-
Everybody wants to, unless you're already doing
You just do a tentative on the 7th. I'm available on the 7th, not the 21st, so I'll mark the 7th tentative and see what everyone else does and if we have to change.
Town hall is the 7th is what we're saying.
it.
7th of May.
At what time?
How about we just do it and we can change it next month if we find it's necessary. make a
I would
motion.
say,
7? Sure.
I would say 6,
I'd say.
because we can do the meeting
Budget.
right before that.
Yeah.
We usually do that.
So we're going for the 6th.
No.
No,
yeah,
6.
six.
Oh,
Yeah.
6.
6 P.M. on May
I
7th.
thought 7. Yeah, got it, yeah. I'm thick-headed.
And then at the fire station.
The town hall's at 6 and there's something now or earlier you want?
No, the budget meeting will take 5 minutes.
Okay,
We'll do the
So
budget
We'll
meeting.
just
at
do
6.
that, but it
Okay,
has to be a meeting
Gotcha,
and
gotcha.
then we'll have the town.
Give it an hour.
and we're in the park, you said? No.
I think it'd be fun.
We're the social district area.
Oh, if it's raining, it will be.
You guys are finding all kinds of ways to get that done. Enter text here.
All right, So we don't need to really vote or anything on this, do we?
What?
The meeting.
No, you all agree to that.
Anything else on that?
Does it have to be a Wednesday?
Okay.
Golf is on Tuesday.
Oh, golf, that was
First day of league.
Oh, is it really?
I'm just.
Oh my
putting
God,
that out
it is,
there.
isn't it? Holy crap. It is.
Go late.
Well, I can find a sub, that's not a big deal, but you're different. You can find a sub.
I am different.
You lose points, Andy's not losing points if I can get a sub.
What is wrong with the 6th?
That's election. I mean, then do it.
That's our day.
Oh,
That's
oh.
council meeting.
Okay,
Yeah, that can be a. Actually,
We're having back-to-back meetings.
2 days in a row.
actually, the 6th is our, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to-
Yeah, I got
and
the 6th.
April
That'll be the
13th
next
is out of the
meeting.
question.
Yes. 100%.
April 13th.
April 13th is 100% out of the question.
Taxes, he does taxes.
Oh.
So-
I didn't
That's a
think
Sunday.
that.
We do have to make a motion to approve to change the May meeting.
What election?
School.
Special.
School.
The mill.
You want a motion now to change the May meeting?
Yeah, we might as well, because that has to be changed.
I make a
Two.
motion to move the May meeting from the 6th to the 13th
Of April?
of May.
Do we want to go back? We don't want to do it or go forward. We don't want to move to the 5th.
I guess
That's a
we could.
Monday, right?
Secret of mine.
Are we
That's a good vote day.
Golf, we gotta, you know,
Golf is important.
It is important. We usually go a week later after
Yeah.
elections.
Now it's.
That's the norm. what we do.
Consistent
I
on the
mean,
same
I
page.
guess we don't have to do that, but.
I would assume committee meetings that were also on the 6th would be rescheduled.
Yeah, because of election.
Yes, yeah.
Next year we go. Are you guys good moving the 6th to the 13th? then?
Make a motion to move the May 6th meeting to May 13th.
Got it. Got a
Second.
second.
I'm
that
good.
motion.
We already did motion on
No.
I motioned it.
it? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. Any opposed?
We're all tired.
Yeah, I'm moving as fast as I can.
So we're good on the 7th and the 13th, then, right?
What?
7th for town hall, 13th, 13th for the.
Yep.
Committees and the council. It's in there now.
All right, library annual report.
And she did that in.
Okay.
So.
I was listening.
She probably wasn't, didn't pick up the.
Yeah.
The agenda, so. That's my fault.
All right, committee reports, financial meeting minutes.
Oh, this is from last week, guys all discussed finance and police, unless you wanna look at, the police, the new one that was on there. For this month, any questions about that? We kind of talked about DDA because that was the social district stuff that was going on, so. And
DPW, anything?
No.
I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Badly. Yeah, basketball.
planning too,
Planning wasn't much.
No,
Nope, nothing here. Oh. All right, board meeting we did.
Why is the LSW meeting minutes not on here? But I also don't remember the specifics. So
I was gonna say, you don't remember, do you?
I put them on.
Dan, can you help a brother out?
I can. So for
Thanks, Dan.
January, the ambulance had 51 runs. It was 9 in the city, 5 in Scioto, 16 in Woodhull, 8 in Victor, and 18 mutual aid calls. For the fire, there was fire rescue runs, there was 2 in the city, 2 in Scioto, 8 in Victor. Correction, 8 in Woodhull, 9 in Victor, 6 mutual aid calls for a total of 27 for the fire. So pretty much about 1.5 calls a day for the ambulance.
And the townships had a meeting, or Victor Township had a meeting, correct, regarding,
So Victor Township did have a budget meeting about how to finance the contracts for Victor Township. It looks like on their next council meeting, they're going to go with a special assessment district. Kind of like Woodhull and Scioto do, and that way it's based per household. And I think it's running right now for like Woodhull Township, $230 for the year per household. So still cheaper than your Granger trash bills, so. A lot of the farmers had requested that it go to a special district versus a straight 2 mills, because some of them could have gotten hit on a lot of their vacant property. So. And that takes effect April 1st.
No, I'm like, I put that in there.
I noticed they weren't on it there the other day, but maybe I should have.
All right, anything else from anybody? Motion closed,
Motion to close.
or all in favor?
Aye.
We are closed, thank you.
Good night, everyone.